Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is scheduled for 10 rounds and is for the WIBF Super Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing once again our referee, Mr. Frank Garza. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, she weighed in at 143 pounds. She wears the green trunks. She is from Nancy, France. Her professional kickboxing record, 34 wins, 5 defeats, with 14 knockouts to her credit. Introducing Valérie Wiet. And her opponent across the ring, she's fighting out of the red corner. She weighed in at 147 pounds. Her trunks are blue and white. She comes to us from Midland, Texas. Her professional record unblemished, 8 wins, no defeats, 6 knockouts. She is the current WIBF welterweight champion of the world. Introducing Marianne Gorgeous Almagar.
Mary, 2 seconds. Okay, for 2 seconds, I want you to make sure you keep your corners, please, and exit the ring like you like this man seconds out. All rounds are 2 minutes. We rules already touch gloves. If this lady wins, we'd like to put it over.
Scheduled for 10 rounds. They are 2-minute rounds. Marianne, who holds a couple of knockout wins over Helga Razoy, one of the pioneers in women's boxing. And there is Wiet all over Almagar, who was not ready for that. That is generally Almagar's tactic.
Almagar, the southpaw, she gets rocked and sent back to the ropes. Good uppercut from Wiet. Wiet is scoring in this first round. Better not kick. Almagar describes her style as a southpaw clean technician. I used to be a brawler, but now I'm trying to use more technique. There's a good right hand from her.
You know what you can do with the technique today.
Yes, when somebody's throwing on you the way that Wiet is.
Almagar also involved in some kickboxing, has some experience, not as much as Wiet. They are going at it crisply here in the first. Got to remember that it's scheduled for 10 rounds.
Only 2-minute rounds, so they really start them fast. Wiet describes her style as a boxer puncher. Her best punch is the right hand. She's naturally right-handed, and she likes the one-on-one of boxing and of kick fighting.
He was also an amateur wrestler, women's world kickboxing champion in 1995 from France.
Oh, she is pouring it on.
Almagar bleeding from the mouth. She was not ready for this, did not expect it. Wiet making her pro debut after 39 pro kickboxing fights and trying to walk out of the ring with the WIBC Super Welterweight Championship. And the blood is flowing now from the face of Marianne Almagar.
Right from the nose, and then she ran her face into the face of Wiet, and Wiet gets a warning from Frank Garza for that. But it's Almagar who's moving forward with her face.
And that is the end of round number 1. And work to be done in this corner. That is the brother of Marianne, Adam Almagar. Has a minute to stop that.
Oh, and that's so hard to stop, too. A nosebleed, once you get hit in the nose and it starts bleeding, you can go on all night.
All right, now they're concentrating on the nose, not talking about now what adjustments do you make in round number 2. You are in there against a warrior in Valérie Wiet.
Well, you certainly have to disregard the nose if you are Almagar. You have to all of a sudden quit thinking about the nose as much as you can and get out there and fight. She was too tentative in that first round and allowed for Wiet to back her up to the ropes and to punch her. You're taught also to punch your opponent right in the face, right on the point of the nose. And that hurts.
She has a little bit of, as you can see, a welt over the right eyebrow.
Yeah, and that was possibly from the two running their heads together. Just in the, almost in the center of the head, but just over that right eyebrow. Clean up some of that water in the corner and some of the blood over there in the corner. Got to wash that away. Done a nice job of cleaning up her face.
Oh, straight right hand. And Almagar is down. Almagar came out looking to keep her distance and box a little bit, but it was the perfect distance for Wiet to unleash that right hand. Frank Garza making sure that Wiet stayed in that corner, and once again.
The second knockdown. Valérie Wiet knows that southpaw fighters are susceptible to a real straight right hand, right down the pike, and that's just what she threw. It's still early in this round, too.
3 knockdown rule is in effect, and we have a minute 10 seconds still to go in the second. Valérie Wiet.
Valérie, you can't go crazy right now. You have to settle down and throw your punches real straight, try to connect again. Having your opponent down twice, you really have to concentrate to put her down the third time.
Valérie here, she just stepped back.
Well, she may be smothering her own punches, Valérie, because she's on top.
And she gets a warning. And meanwhile, that just saves Marianne some vital seconds. 35 seconds to go in the second round. Can Marianne get out of this second round?
I don't know, Wiet is really excited. And because of that, smothering her own punches, and they're going to pull a point from Wiet for tying up.
Well, meanwhile, seconds tick away. We're down to 15 seconds left in the second.
Seconds an Almagar needed.
She's been down twice in this round. Also, you cannot be saved by the bell in any rounds. Almagar survives round number 2, but again, they're going to have to work on the ever-flowing blood. And there is Valérie Wiet. She does not sit down between rounds, uses the George Foreman approach. That is her husband, Orlando, in the corner with her trainer.
No.
Orlando Wiet.
And there is the straight right hand that you beat for victory from Almagar. Right hand right down the pike, try to bring a wide sweeping left hook behind it.
Looks like
pack on the forehead.
Looks like a romantic moment there in the corner.
Right there above that right eyebrow. You can see the swelling that we were talking about.
Ring card guy. Oh, he's helping the ring card guy.
She's the one that needs help. She needs no help. Valérie Wiet.
All right, she put Marianne Almagar down in the opening seconds of the second. Oh, Marianne comes back, blazing here to start round number 3. It's scheduled for 10.
Yeah, still a long time to go.
Marianne's undefeated record on the line, 8-0 with 6 knockouts. She's a potent puncher, but right now has been thrown off her game in the first couple of rounds by France's Valérie Wiet.
She's getting her range now. Marianne is. See her taking that half step back, resetting and then unloading. She's trying to get Wiet to run into something.
Wiet, the black top, and Almagar in the white. Almagar slugging. Hands up for Wiet.
Oh, nice jab. Almagar going downstairs to the body, then tries to come up to the head.
Almagar, and Wiet is down in the third. A dramatic turn of events.
Bloody.
The count is 8. And she makes the count with 45 seconds to go. The crowd comes alive with this terrific comeback. A courageous Marianne Almagar, who has never tasted defeat, comes off the canvas to put her opponent down here in the third.
Yeah, it really looks like a different fighter this round from those first 2. Putting more pressure on, throwing more hooks is Almagar. And landing.
This is a Christy Martin type performance. Bleeding, keeps on coming, and stealing the show again. A women's fight.
Guts and determination. It looked as though Almagar was on her way to being knocked out. Final seconds of this round. A good round for Marianne Almagar. We had Valérie Wiet on the canvas.
And Valérie Wiet Goes to her corner, and there is Almagar. It's the same look in the corner, but a little happier at this point. Round 4 coming up, feverishly working in the corner. This is the knockdown in the third.
Putting the pressure on. You cannot stand out on the end of the punches of Valérie Wiet. She hits too hard out of the end. What Almagar did in that second and third round is pressed on the inside and in through hooks once she got in there. Like the coagulant being put up her nose. When you got to cut inside your nose, first of all, it's hard to see it because you can't get to it. Unless you have like a light up somebody's nose to see where the cut is. Then getting the coagulant on that cut is another story.
Round 4.
Okay, round 4. Whose round is this?
You gotta fight it first.
To that inside. And it's Almagar again. Firing upstairs. There's the George Foreman defense by Valérie Wiet.
Pressure and hook from Almagar. Almagar cannot give Wiet room to grow. Oh, good right hand.
More to fight. Now blood all over the face of Wiet, but it is not her own. Marianne Almagar now qualifying for the cover of a wrestling magazine with that face, dripping with blood all over.
Yeah, no good. That's what's really fun about watching the girls fight too. They have something to prove. They come in with a fight plan, a game plan. They have styles. And they try to figure out their opponents. There's a good 1-2 from Almagar. And Wiet comes back with a combination. That could be the Wiet combine.
45 seconds to go in the fourth. 27-year-old Almagar on the right from Midlands, Texas. 8-0 record with 6 KOs. She's 5'7", 146.5. Valérie Wiet, 28 years old. From Nancy, France. 34-5 as a kickboxer. This is her first pro boxing event. She has a little smile on her face now. Yeah, she's 5'10", 143.5. Both fighters are stepping back. And that ends round number 4.
Round number 4 in a fight that has turned for Marianne Almagar. They have to be happy with that round in her corner. She's smothering the punches of Wiet, moving on the inside. She's controlling the pace and the tempo. She's controlling the style of Valérie Wiet. Now they just got to control that blood.
Well, if this were the Tommy Morrison fight, it would have been over a long time ago. Tommy Morrison's coming up his first fight in a year, and stipulation in that fight that if there is blood, the fight will be stopped, and he's going to have 1 minute to stop the cut. If it opens again, the fight would be stopped. So the new Tommy Morrison rule, at least here on the card today.
Oh, good combination from Almagar.
Wiet coming back.
But Almagar using her force, moving forward. Can't stand out on the end of the punches. Wiet will get you. Wiet really has slowed down her attack, though. Looking to pose a bit more. When you're outside like this, sometimes you get a bit confused at that southpaw stance. And that maybe would be what is happening to Valérie Wiet in Viet.
Almagar has fought a couple of 6-round fights. Other than that, has not gone past 4. So she's fighting 10 for the first time. Consider the fact that Valérie Wiet fighting for her first pro fight. is asked to go 10 rounds, although she has the experience of 39 kickboxing fights.
And when she started kickboxing in 1987 in Amsterdam, she was the 94 WKA champion of the world as a junior welterweight. So she's always up for a challenge, and she's got a challenge right now. She had Almagar down 2 times in the second. She was down Valérie Wiet in the third.
Oh, Marianne walked into one and then gave 1, 2, 3 back.
Oh, watch the heads. Two of them coming together. Good uppercut and a smile from Almagar.
The more she gets punched, the more she smiles.
Oh boy, I tell you, they gotta watch their heads. Heads coming together way too much.
Inside 10 seconds in the 5th, scheduled for 10 2-minute rounds. The WIBC, the Women's IBC Super Welterweight Championship. And no, that is the blood of Valérie Wiet now from her nose.
Take a beating.
Say the women go out there, and we see this every time.
Yeah.
They go out there and fight.
They steal the shows, and here's why. Both of them landing back in that 5th round. Good right hook and a straight right from Wiet. Almagar, her favorite punch is the right hook.
The fundamentals are coming, but if they're not there, they go out, they give a tremendous effort, especially you coming off, you know, watching the Gastineau fight.
Yeah, and the thing about the girls is there is nobody really well developed in women's boxing. Everybody's about the same, have been developed about the same as far as boxers.
Marianne.
Round 6, 6, 6, 6.
Seems to have developed very quickly. Only 8 professional fights. Undefeated. The southpaw, she does try to work that jab in. And has staged a remarkable comeback. After being down, looked to be out in the 2nd round.
Yeah,
hitting the canvas twice.
Yeah, down twice, and really showing that she was on her way out. But then she came back. She wasn't even in the fight the first 2 rounds. In that 3rd round, she really sucked it up and came back. And here she is in the 6th, pouring it on. She is pressing the attack. When you press the attack like she is, and you put your power behind your punches, your opponent is going to go back to the ropes, which is just what Valérie Wiet did. And wisely enough, Almagar used the jab from the outside.
These two showing more and more respect for one another here in the 6th. So much distance, having difficulty getting both of them in on the screen.
Yeah, but this is just what Valérie Wiet should be capitalizing upon. She has Almagar staying out in the end. Use that jab and set up that right hand. That's been her best punch. That's the punch that put Marianne to the canvas.
20 seconds remain in round 6 of the scheduled 10-rounder. Almagar in the white top, Wiet in the black top. Oh, roundhouse right by Marianne Almagar from Midlands, Texas, against her French opponent. 6 down, 4 to go, and Marianne just getting into this now.
Some of that action from that 6th. Right. Smacking left hand from Marianne Almagar. Moving forward with their punches, while Valérie Wiet is moving backwards with hers. You get more force on the power to punch when you move your weight behind the shot. Still trying to control some of that bleeding from the nose. In the corner of Marianne Almagar. Jeff Ruff, boxing cut man.
Seconds up. Round 7. Round 7. Take them more, Valérie. Voilà.
7th round. Now Valérie Wiet must do something to turn the tide. By the 7th round, you realize the 10th round is not far in the future. And I have Marianne Almagar winning from the 3rd round on. Slow down. She's feeling the effects of this hard match, and also the pushing and the pulling on the inside, the shoving, trying to force every shot. Both of these welterweights, when you go in there trying to force the knockout and to push it, it takes more energy. See, she's trying to relax as Wiet.
Wiet, a statuesque 5'10", 143.5 pounds.
And nice and tall, and Wiet tries to rain down her power. What you try to do is you punch down, try to put your opponent down to the canvas. She does a nice job of punching down with her right hand. Now turning to the southpaw stance.
Now another cut along the left eye of Valérie Wiet. Here's from this angle.
Trying to turn southpaw as Wiet. Really, both fighters taking their toll.
Almagar just beating Wiet to the punch.
That's the face of the girl who has won the last, on my card, the last 4 rounds.
Well, the women now getting more TV exposure. That kind of scene in the corner does not look as far-fetched anymore.
It's a glamorous life. Look at this girl, blood out of her nose, her mouth bleeding a bit. Vaseline on the face.
Got the top, which we were describing as white early in the fight, we now have to describe as red to identify her.
Matches her gloves. Look at the Vaseline in her hair. That's the toughest thing after the fight, trying to get that Vaseline out of your hair. I used to have to shampoo 12 times and put powder in my hair. Try to get that Vaseline is the worst thing about the fight. The cut doesn't matter. The nosebleed doesn't matter. That Vaseline.
Oh, swinging hard now. Almagar taking over this fight after being knocked down twice in the 2nd round. Whoop. And Garza steps in as a mouthpiece. Marianne's comes out of her mouth. There's her brother Adam.
Adam puts the mouthpiece in, does a nice job of trying to wipe that blood away. You know, when a judge sees that red is a shock to the eyes. That's why all the stoplights are red. The stop signs are red. The red is a shock to the eyes. When the judges see that, they think automatically that somebody is hurt because they see that red. And you don't want the judges to see that red. Well, a good uppercut from Wiet, but Almagar put the pressure on. When she got hit with that, she remembered that she has to go on the inside and force her attack. Oh, this is just guts and determination.
Almagar is still plenty in reserve as she comes slashing out here late in the 8th round.
Oh, slashing is right. Big left hand.
Whiplash with that shot.
It looks even bigger with the ponytail in the hair of Valérie Wiet. One thing that's a bit dangerous about the hair, about having a lot of hair as a fighter, is when you get hit, it adds a bit more to the punch and it moves your head. Looks like it moves your head faster and harder, and you see the effects of it. Good shot from Wiet, Marianne kind of dove into that shot. Trying to control the jab from the outside. A lot of movement this round from Almagar. Is she hurt? Turning her back. It appeared as though Marianne Almagar was ready to stop fighting. Right there, she turned away, much like Sergio Reyes did earlier tonight. She turned away and was shaking her head no. Now, if you're in the corner on the left with Valérie Wiet, you tell her, look, she's ready to go. Get right on top of Marianne Almagar. And if you're in the corner of Almagar, you tell her, take some deep breaths. Come on, she's going to be coming right at you. You stand up and start punching. Deep breaths right now. 9th round, you got 2 more rounds to go. Scheduled for 10. Seconds out, says Frank Garza.
And this is round number 9.
Oh, and look at that. At the end of the last round, Marianne was ready to stop fighting. She comes out with a barrage the first part of this 9th round. Wonderful job in 1 minute trying to get her ready to go again, ready to fight again, right to the kisser. Oh.
Valérie Wiet now with a comeback. Tommy Morrison is up next, waiting in the locker room. Like his first appearance in 1 year. Fight surrounded by the controversy of Morrison returning. And Almagar may have been poked in the eye. She is now turning away. She should just go down to the canvas and take a count, but Frank Garza stops the fight. Twists and turns. Valérie Wiet, who had her opponent, Marianne Almagar, down twice in the first, and Wiet knocked down in the third, with Almagar coming on for the middle rounds. But here taking control in the 9th, and Valérie Wiet in her professional boxing debut, the former kickboxing champ, has become the IBC Super Welterweight title holder.
In her first professional boxing match, champion of the world.
And Marianne Almagar.
Two who went in with a lot to prove, and they duked it out. She's happy, a smile on her face. Valérie Wiet. And here was the end. Tried to quit. Almagar did in that 8th round. At the end of that round, she went back to the corner. They did a great job of reviving her. She came out with a barrage. When she stopped punching, Valérie Wiet poured it on her. And Frank Garza staying real close. But I've seen enough. Garza also knows what Almagar was trying to do at the end of that 8th round.
And Jake Gutierrez with the announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 51 seconds of the 9th round, referee Frank Garza stops this bout for the winner by technical knockout and new WIBF Super Welterweight Champion of the World, Valérie Wiet. A round of applause for his opponent, former champion Marianne Gorgeous Almagar.
The fighter from France is now a champion. And she goes home with welt under the eye, over the eyebrow, but with a smile on her face.
And that title belt wasn't free. She had to pay a price for it. No complaint from Marianne Almagar, who came into this fight and gave it all she got. She tried hard, but it was Valérie Wiet who gets the title belt.